The insurance company called Mike Burnett 4 days after the story aired in January, saying the money would be awarded after all. Progress is finally happening at Mike Burnett's home.
They're having to jack the house up.
In August, the strong current from the Comeet River pushed his house off its pilings.
The piers have moved.
The house buckling, dipping to either side.
The flood water did.
Today, this crew is working, jacking up the house.
They got tension on them right now.
To make it level.
They're fixing it right.
But it wasn't easy to get them here since the insurance company wouldn't pay to make it level again. At first, it said the flood didn't cause the problem.
I said, what do you think? I got a team of horses and pulled this house off while it was blocked like that? We have never had water to come up on our land like that.
We first met Burnett in January.
See the water run out of it?
And soon after a Two on Your Side report about his house,
You can see that the
insurance company changed its tune.
They got busy. They decided, well, okay, we understand. We'll take care of it.
He got the check in the mail last week, and now things are moving along. There are 37 pilings underneath this house that need to be replaced so the house can be level. It'll take about a week to complete, which is great news for this homeowner who's waited this long to start rebuilding.
The only reason that we're getting anything done is Two on Your Side.
Plenty of work to be done.
Put concrete around it, put the concrete blocks.
This crew is doing it right, so Burnett will never have a problem again. Burnett got half the insurance money up front. He'll get the other half following an inspection. He's looking forward to replacing his floors after the house is level. Stephen Parks says his car needs a new motor and won't take no for an answer.
They only had it for a few weeks.
Near the end of August, Stephen Parks bought himself a used car.
2012 Kia Forte.
Parks and his wife drive the car from Livingston to Baton Rouge, where they work, about 30 miles.
You know, it's the only vehicle we had.
But not a month later, the car broke down.
All the dash lights came on. It started smoking and started making like a smacking noise.
It was towed and taken to an automotive shop.
Started work on it. They took it apart.
And the news wasn't good.
That the engine block was melted. A piston was melted.
Parks says he needed a new motor. But he didn't worry then. He had a 150,000-mile warranty.
MaxCare, the warranty that I bought from CarMax for $2,000.
But what the inspector said didn't sit well.
It was our fault that my wife was driving the vehicle while it was really hot.
And he'd have to pay for the repairs himself.
She'd only drove it 20 miles. I feel like I've been scammed, you know, like they're scamming me.
Parks called Two on Your Side, and Two on Your Side started asking questions. Parks got this letter in the mail Monday from the claims department explaining the reason why the cost of repairs weren't going to be covered, but everything changed when he got a phone call Tuesday night.
From the Kia dealership, MaxCare told them that they were going to go ahead and pay for the motor, to replace the motor.
While Parks is happy, he says it should have never come to this.
So I don't understand, you know, why they can't cover a warranty that they charge so much money for.
But he's looking forward to having his car back.
Success, yeah, thanks to you.
Parks says he was told by the dealership it's going to take a few days for the motor to come in, but he's hopeful he'll have his car back in about a week. Following the meeting, we met Simmers outside. Our lens foggy from the humidity. Simmers says he can't escape the fog of our reports.
Tell us the truth then.
No, nothing for you. Thanks.
Simmers walking away, refusing to answer our questions.
You had all those people contact me as I requested. Have your producer contact me as requested. Anyone but you, ma'am.
I've contacted you many times requesting
Anyone but you, ma'am.
JP, good afternoon. We rode the 7-mile stretch of Airline Highway where this processional will be happening. More business, Natalia. A year after stores filled with water, Juban Crossing is growing. Absolutely, Sylvia, Chris, I'm outside Brownie's ShopRite in Eunice, where that excitement is only growing. That winning Powerball jackpot ticket was sold here yesterday. The store owner, Jeffrey Duplashane, says that he is extra excited. He says that he's been getting calls from all over the country, people wondering about the scoop about who has this winning ticket. He says his store is no stranger to big payouts from scratch-off tickets, but this is the biggest ticket yet. He says this is also the first time that someone will write him a check for selling this winning ticket at his store, and he has a plan for how he will spend it.
My children and my grandchildren are going to go out somewhere, spend a weekend somewhere, and then the rest come back and take care of business.
Now again, that winning ticket sold here Wednesday around 9:30 a.m. When he or she does come forward, they have the option of taking that lump sum payout, about $119 million. Reporting live in Eunice, Brittany Weiss, WBRZ News 2. Jobs can't help but wonder what would have happened this last go-round if the Comey Diversion Canal was complete. But there's a big hurdle, about $200 million that's needed in federal funding to complete the project. Landry lives on the second floor. While there's an elevator outside, she's surrounded by curbs, an 8-inch obstacle nearly everywhere she goes. Tom Pless says he's called the city's 311 call center multiple times about making that intersection more accessible, but he's still waiting for an answer. You might not be able to see it, but you can definitely feel it. There's a hump in the middle of the house, and when we put a level on it, it's off by about 2 degrees. There are patches all over Shelley Street. Washington says she's called the city about this once, twice, more than 3 times. But she says she's tired of these little fixes and is looking for a permanent solution.
I want the street completed.
Take a look around if you think this is a lot. If you think this is overwhelming, they ran out of space and had to build up and go upstairs. The homeowner has been dealing with this since April of last year. He started calling the parish about it in June, but the problem is still here, and with each rain, it gets worse. Cook hasn't received any mail since last Monday. She's concerned about all the bills and other important paperwork she's missing. To give you an idea of just how bad the electrical is in this house, you flip one 20-amp breaker and it turns off the electricity in 3/4 of the house.
That I cannot get any assistance to help pay for my personal care attendant.
So she's moved in with a friend to help her get from A to B. Miss Carla has a long list of health care providers she's called, but have all turned her down because she gets up 5 days a week and goes to work at Gonzales Middle School. Yet through all this, she remains optimistic. The operations manager for MSI Inventory says the local manager misinformed George. It says it does not discriminate against anyone and it has re-educated the local manager about the company's policy. George says he's qualified for the job and that his disability shouldn't stand in the way of him working.
A disability doesn't make a person. A person makes a person.
Is on the lot and someone can actually win it. It's just important to note, if you receive this mailer, to pay attention to the asterisk.
The fine print, it's always, the devil's always in the details.
Rosie Blunt was living a nightmare. She's done everything by the book for years. Turns out the State Department of Revenue made a big mistake. Imagine waking up and finding your bank accounts have been wiped clean by the state.
Oh, devastated.
It happened to Rosie Blunt. She emailed Two on Your Side last month about the thousands of dollars, money from the family business, that was gone.
Went into my personal savings account and wiped that completely clean.
Blunt took care of the office work for her late husband's business.
I did it pretty well.
In charge of payroll, collection, and paying the bills. Business closed in 2014. But to her shock, the state sent a statement with a balance of more than $30,000 and authorization to seize cash, bank accounts, and property.
I said, what am I going to do?
Didn't take long for her money to start disappearing. She got her paperwork together and sent it off to the State Department of Revenue.
They didn't have any record, or they didn't show that I had paid anything.
But her records did. Cashed checks, dates, and amounts. Still, Blunt says the Department of Revenue didn't blink until Two on Your Side got involved. The Louisiana Department of Revenue isn't saying anything about what happened, but after I sent over Blunt's paperwork, it mailed her a check. It only took a couple days to investigate. I got an email from Blunt saying a refund check from the Department of Revenue is on its way.
And they apologized.
She opened that check this morning.
Okay, that's more like it. Thanks to Brittany.
Money the state owed her. Thousands of dollars returned to Blunt, who never lost hope.
Thanks to Two on Your Side.
Blunt says she's depositing that check today, thankful that money is back where it belongs. Sylvia?
Good for her.